Welcome back to part 2 of the Canterbury preview from RacingRant. We've moved to the more romantic location in order so that we can actually see the form guide.
See the form guide.
Which may be quite useful. It's certainly useful when you're doing the form. And can I mention that I read out an advertisement for Form Analyst on Monday, and if you missed that, you may like to listen to this. If you would love to turn your racing passion into a career, then we have a unique opportunity for you. Sydney-based company Venture Equus is looking for an exceptional candidate to join their dynamic racing team as a professional form analyst. With market-leading tools, techniques and analytics at your disposal, we specialise in the creation and ongoing development of racing form and data-related applications. You must have a strong ability to problem solve with high attention to detail and a willingness to work within a group. No racing experience is required, as all training will be provided, but strong numerical skills and university qualifications are beneficial. If this sounds like the job for you, then send your applications to careers@ventureequus, that's VENTUREEQUUS, ventureequus.com. And apparently Glenn is barred.
Really?
Well, you barred him, you said he wasn't up to scratch.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a dinosaur, so I'd suggest it's probably more appropriate for someone.
I'm just saying there'll be so many guys out there that watch our show that would be awesome for that role. And one of them will get the job. And don't be shy, get out there and have a crack.
Yeah, because look, if you love racing, there's every chance you actually want to make it your living. And Gord has successfully applied himself to the punt, but obviously require a bank to do that. And there are those of you that might want to try the softly approach and get out there and analyse form.
I wish I had done it that way. I wouldn't have gone bankrupt twice.
Well, there's different ways of doing it, Gord. You just, you tackled the thing head on. Right. Speaking of tackling things head on, we're into fairly thick 4 races, although I'd suggest that race 5 is a little thin on the ground. And race 4 is Fillies and Mares benchmark 72 over 1200 metres. $5 Irithea, $5 Sepoy Achiever, $5.50 Vienna Romance, $5.50 Savapinski. Then we're out to the middle peggers, $12 Phoenix Claws, $12 Marabelle, $15 Daytime Dancer, $17 Express Point, and Alaskan Wolf heads the others with $21. Looks a keen race because it's obviously got a decent sized field. A number of horses are coming here having led in their wins, and I speak principally of Irithea and Phoenix Claws and Savapinski. Alaskan Wolf has the speed to try and force the issue. Divergence surprisingly led the other day. I suggest she'll be ridden just off the speed tomorrow. Express Point also needs to get up there. Vienna Romance takes a tag midfield, and I'd suggest the others go back. Marabelle, Single and Free, Sepoy Achiever, and Daytime Dancer. So there's a few different form lines here, Gord. Are you keen on one of them?
I'm very keen to back number 1, Irithea. I'm a massive fan of this apprentice. It's funny I say that after all the things I say about trainers putting apprentice on top weights to get weight off, but this is a kid who's city class and he's claiming 3 kilos.
They say you might have even kissed him after Summer Out.
I'll kiss this guy for sure. Yeah. No, I'm a massive fan. Bjorn. So very smart guy. He's got the right idea. If he's going to put an apprentice on a top weight, he gets the one that actually rides as well as a Sydney Metropolitan rider. Love mares in form. Forget about last preparation. It's all about this preparation. Done absolutely nothing wrong. Donkey licked the opposition. I'm getting C lever to Jean Van Overmeer, which is a positive jockey change, and Jean Van Overmeer is going to claim 3 for me. I'm super excited.
And God, when you found this horse, Humility hadn't won.
Exactly. And I said to you, I said I'm looking for something more to sort of slightly frank it. Humility ran in a very strong race at Beaumont today and got the job done. Not massively impressively, but it did still win. For me, that's good enough, because my actual only problem with the horse was that Humility looked quite strong late against it. after
right,
winning
now
today.
you have no problem.
Now I have no problem. Very keen on backing number 1, Irithea. The other one I'm definitely going to entertain at long odds is number 8, Alaskan Wolf. This thing can't go on heavy. It's a fresh horse. I thought it was reasonably, well, not poorly ridden by Van der Werth last start, but the balance didn't quite.
It was
seem
very
there,
keen
so.
up front because Excelaire got to the front and she was trying to cross the your mare from the Wild West who had the somebody.
Yeah.
And that left Courtney seeking 1-1. It was just very keen doors up front. It was hard to get comfortable in that configuration.
Particularly first up, you know, when you're not 100% fit. I think it can really improve, and it's about 20 to 1 or something like that. So
yeah, and you probably don't like the change of jockey much.
No, not very keen on that. I think that's a negative jockey change, Van der Werth to Tim Clark. Yeah.
Well, Glenn would say that, but we don't.
no. Magnificent jockey change. Right stage of its preparation because this is a fresh horse. And if you notice on soft ground, run against horses like Pomelo.
Hang on. You haven't mentioned the horse.
Raymond, Sands
one of your you've got a bloody one of those posters of Raymond up in your room, haven't you?
Yeah.
Every night before you pass out, you go, Raymond.
Well, by the way, the only hats I've had made up actually had Deploy on the top of them, because
the second choice would have been Raymond.
Deploy won so many races for me in a row. It was absolutely sensational, and a mate of mine owns a company that provides the best soccer balls in Sydney, and it's called Deploy as well.
What a neat little tie-up that is. Look, I have to say that I am antipathetic towards Irithea, and that may be to my detriment, but I saw her as being hugely advantaged by finding the bunny in her 2 runs back. I do take your point about Jean van Overmeyer. He is impressive in the regard of putting his horses in the race. But Savapinski is a horse that is resuming in a second preparation for Gay. She did a good job to hold off Noir on debut at, I'm not sure if it was Beaumont or Newcastle without looking it up. The other horses I want to mention are Sepoy Achiever, who went to Wyong and got the job done. I just see her as being a bit of a last man standing here in a keen race. And the other horse I want to mention is Divergence, who is by Big Brown. That's a very black mark against her, but she just pinned to the lead the other day, and I don't think she'll lead tomorrow. I think she'll settle off the speed, which will suit her better. I think she is the roughie of the day. That's number 6, Divergence. And that is apt, Gords, because we have diverging opinions in this race. I will say,
ask you more, because I started off with Savapinski. Just when I had a brief look, I thought, oh, that's the horse I'm going to find. And then I looked at the trials, and I just wasn't impressed.
Can happen, and maybe that will be critical, maybe it won't be. It's one of those situations where you go, after the race, of course those trials weren't good enough, you know.
But it's like Gay has me so confused at the moment, because like 5 years ago, I would have said the horse has none, because I would have been so confident in watching her horses in the trial and knowing how they'd run. Now I really don't know. So.
Yeah, well look, if nothing else, Savapinski is a key to this race in the sense that it's Hieronymus, it's from that deep gate. It's like the bull, you know, he is just going to...
and they've got him fit as a fiddle with the 1200 metres and trial.
Yeah, and they've got Hieronymus fit as a fiddle with just one ride last Saturday on a horse that couldn't keep up. Look, the horse that I'm actually against in this race with City Runs is Vienna Romance, who I think is very stale.
Yep.
That's race 4. Race 5, $3.10 in favourite, Louboutin, and the O'Shea runner, which did escape me, I must admit. Number 5, Parlez-Vous, is $3.60. Out to $8, Bring a Secret, 11, Eastern Legend, back from a fall, 11, Clistra, gee, a tired sounding lot out here, 13, Surfing Safari, 14, What Could Be, 16, Charming Lad. Nothing to get excited with outside the 2 picks, I would have thought. Look, Louboutin is a very sharp filly that matched her with Global Glamour first up last time, so our man, Jean Von, is going to put her straight into the race. Clistra obviously will seek the lead. I'm Danny would like a piece of the lead. I can't imagine he'd be fast enough, but nevertheless. Surfing Safari is forward, and there your on-pace runners. Parlez-Vous should be next. Are there only 2 chances here, Gord?
No, there's only one chance.
There's only 1 chance. Well, you heard it first here.
Yeah, Luberton wins this race.
Oh, you don't like the trainer of the other horse, the bum trainer of the other horse. Forgot about that. Go on.
Well, I wasn't a fan. I am a fan of Joseph Pride. I think he's a really good trainer, but he's not been in form lately. And then just the recent switch to John O'Shea, I don't know what to make of that. I do admit it comes out of 2 city runs, yeah.
Come on, 2 proper Saturday races.
I know. But, I've just kicked myself every time I don't back the horses coming off, like, proper Saturday stuff. Well, but I just can't see Luberton getting beaten here.
Yeah, you just said that she was, of course, our pin-up horse for the Oaks. The Oaks was a bridge too far, but Jesus Christ, she put in some cracking runs on her way to the Oaks. Her trials good?
Her trials would have liked to send it a little bit more style.
Right.
So I love the fact that it's 2,000 metre trials. I love the fact that it was against good horses. I like the fact that Ugo Fasola in the first one really put the pressure on and did gapper, but that's not a big deal. Bonnie O'Reilly came 3rd in that trial, I think.
Bonnie who?
Yeah. Bonnie
Baker.
Bonnie Baker. And then comes out and comes 2nd over 1,000 metres. That's a good idea, which I would have liked to see a little bit more style, but...
It's a group horses trial.
Yeah, I know.
Those course proper trials, the heats 1 and 2 on the...
And yet again, Bjorn, he's a smart man. He's a smart man, Bjorn. He's put on a gun
the number of people that want to suck B. Baker's...
Well, I've mentioned that before, and I didn't or wasn't of that stronger opinion until today when the top weights had Jean van Overmeer on, and I thought, well, he must know something.
No, he doesn't know anything. He's just looking for an apprentice to bring the weight down. Anyway,
if he's aggressive from the inside, the stats are absolutely sensational. When you sit outside lead over 1,200 metres and get run down by Global Glamour, Fox Play Sprite, first up, last preparation, you just donkey lick this opposition as long as the kid shows aggression and lets everybody know that they won't be leading me.
Yeah, which, it should be easy enough to show Nissa Burrells, but we've seen riders take hold. But it won't be Jean Von, I don't think. Race 6, the penultimate, a very hot little 1,100 metre race. I say little, but there are in fact 11 runners at this stage. $3.50 Beacon, the debutant winner from Godolphin. $5 Could Have Been. $6.50 In Vienna, $7.50 Princess Posh returning. $8.50 Rebel Miss. Akasaki, $9.50 from a proper Saturday race.
Yes.
Perhaps not.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much your market. It's out to $21 then. Cockles. Looks a keen race. But were she to jump, I'd have Could Have Been jumping. Well, sorry, were she to jump, that's a ridiculous thing to say, but based on what she did with Bowman aboard 3 starts ago, Could Have Been leads, but she may not be in the same frame of mind. We've got plenty to occupy the forward position. I'd suggest that Beacon gets forward. He's only had the 1 start and is possessed of great ability. Desert Marshal will be desperate. Grammar School will be tuned up for his first up run and on speed. Akasaki would like to get there. In Vienna wants to hold her position. No desperate leaders, but enough that want to sort of get into a position. Cockles perhaps easing back to midfield. Rebel Miss looks to go back after being ridden off the speed the other day. Epic Dan will be doing his best to keep up out wide. Firstly, obviously it's a talking point of the card Beacon, particularly in the sense that Glenn has been touting this horse since he saw him debut at Wyong. What are we doing here with him?
I'm surprised he found such a strong race next start. You could go into a Saturday Metropolitan race that would be easier than this race.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic race.
Well, in fact, Akasaki Saturday Metropolitan race won by McFarlane's horse, whose name just escapes me at the moment,
Clear the Beach?
Clear the Beach, yeah. That could be arguably weaker than this race. In fact, it was.
Yeah.
In fact, hang on, Gord, it was a benchmark 72. This is a 74.
Oh, come on, ignore those ratings. Those ratings don't mean anything. You need to compare, you need to look at the horses that actually run in the race. That's how you
right,
gauge
well, let's
class.
see. No, let's gauge. Let's see what price Akasaki runs in this race compared to his SP at Rosehill.
950. Oh, it's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so 950 to whatever he is tomorrow.
Well, he's
I'd
currently
say-
950.
Well, I'll say it'll be longer tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Right, so
I
Beacon,
love that, mate.
Beacon's found a hard race, but then what?
Probably still wins. When Glenn mentions something like that to me, I take real notice of it. He's very good at spotting things like that.
Yeah, and very poor at backing them.
Yeah, so when it's $3 tomorrow and he's laying it because he's going, oh, provincial to metropolitan, this has got to be a lay, I'll be unloading on it.
Yeah. No,
We'll
he's
see
a
what
very
happens.
he's a very
We'll see
good
what
judge
happens.
of the
Yeah.
individual, and then you put him, you get him to look at 10 other horses, and he goes, oh, this is a very hard race.
Crazy, yeah. Well, but I must admit, it even like from my perspective, I found it very difficult. There's some horses here with question marks about how good they might possibly be. Because I had Princess Posh down as an overrated horse, but it did some things last preparation that really impressed me. And if you notice, the ones where it actually got gapped by a reasonable margin were actually on the heavy and soft. It could be a proper horse. I like the trial. The trial is actually the Villa Carlotta trial, who I'm going to back earlier in the program.
Look, she's a stalker. She's a stalker here for
and
sure.
Princess Posh trial better. So there's that. There's Envy Ever coming out of being run poorly,
being put to the sword by Bowman.
Yeah.
You know, he got forward and wide. Then he said, press the button, and said, well, bugger that. I'm going to be 3 wide outside the lead, and pressing the issue in her first run back. For a new stable, now a stablemate off Princess Posh, I believe.
I like that change, but me, very keen. I know weights don't matter, but intent does matter as far as weights is concerned. It's got 53 kilos. It's got who I consider the best jockey in Sydney on board.
Jesus, H. Bowman's in this race. He's just cleaned up the title gourd. Them's fighting words, aren't they?
Okay, so H. Bowman for me, Saturday races listed group, definitely number 1. Day in, day out, Wednesday metropolitan races, give me K-Mac. And can ride light, because Bowman couldn't ride this thing, 53 kilos.
That's right.
You know,
he's solid. He's solid.
I'm going
as
to listen
K-Mac.
to Glenn. I'm going to take note of what I consider a positive jockey change. You have always told me that if a horse in its first start or first start back from a spell sits OSL, it's something you can really springboard off. So there's a lot of ticks.
Yeah, his problem is that he might have to sit OSL again, which would make him vulnerable, and which is why I'm suggesting Rebel Miss has got a cracking chance here, because what she did in that Nick Tock race was just incredible. Visually for me, Rebel Miss just attacked the line with a vengeance. They're ridden off the speed. She's now got the Canterbury. She's got the Canterbury run, and if Beacon is feeling himself because he's now got to actually put to the sword some decent midweek horses, then I think Rebel Miss will be dangerous late.
Okay, it was a stylish run last up, but does it have the class?
It has the style. That's what it has. So in fact, we've got 2 runners with style there. Look, a really good penultimate race, race 6, and we move on to Gord's favourite race on the card, 1900 metres, which at the moment has a full field of 14. Isn't that great? And not only that, some Saturday form, Gord. Anyway, well, last time I checked, Wangwa actually won on a Saturday, and Brazen has had 3 runs back on a Saturday.
I didn't look at the race, right? Yeah.
Yes, he saw 1900 and just ducked away. Speed comes from another lager who had blinkers off the other day, I think, raced outside the lead, holds his alley. Another snappy wants to lead. So Street Pursuit, who would like to lead, stepping up from 1550 to 1900, may have to put up with a very, very keen another snappy who's had some time off as well, giving him something to chase here. Dylan's Romance uses Street Pursuit to get into a position. Plymouth Road is not too far away. I've got Brazen slotting into a handy midfield spot. Trenchant may have some work to do to slot in, but should do. Quick Defence midfielder, the other horses settling back. Now, so it will be keen, because another snappy will make it a truly run race. The market says $4.50 and favourite Wangwa. $6 Street Pursuit, $6.50 Estic Raj, back to his favourite course and distance. $9 Quick Defence, $9.50 Trenchant, now third up. Then we're at $13 Brazen, $17 Addictive Craft, $18 Plymouth Road, long the rest. You're ducking out of this race. You're just, you may as well just get your specials ready.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Now, you know, I always have a quick look because I'm obviously going on, and I couldn't even find anything to say. I was just completely confused with the race.
Yeah, well, look at it. There is actually a lot to look at, I think, which is why I got excited. And you know, Wang Wa's got obvious claims given that she rounded them up so well the other day, but everything went to plan. She is deep into her preparation, and she will get well back. So that's needs to be taken into account. I thought that Brazen, who is fourth up, he's gone 13, 15, back to 14 with the blinkers back on, ridden in a forward position the other day, ground to the line nicely. He's on 11-day backup. He's got gun on board. He's going to slot into a forward position, and obviously he's now at a suitable distance. D-Day tomorrow for Brazen. Street Pursuit, initially I got excited, but then I thought, well, hang on, what it was last week was a head-to-head with Fortensky, and he's just been up and back and around so much that I'm not sure if trying 1900 is sensible given the depth of this field. Trenchant is obviously third up, but I don't really think there's much depth.
I've got a question about that. So you're negative on Street Pursuit because you think Fortensky's a nonny. Is that right? Like it just doesn't ever get there.
I'm suggesting that what happened the other day was that Fortensky got to the lead and took the steam out of the race, and it was basically a who can head to head here.
Yeah.
It wasn't. They didn't go that fast.
Okay.
Is what I'm trying to say. Trenchant's got a reasonable setup, but lacking in form as far as I'm concerned. Estic Raj obviously better suited here, but wants it wetter. Quick Defence struck the line the other day, but he's a perennial. He just goes around and around, more than fabulous ditto. Addictive Craft has got good looking 1800 metre Hawkesbury form, but that will do me. So I'm suggesting Brazen is worth it. He's worth a strong ticket in the last. Good.
I am just...
Hang on, you can't have 5 specials. 6 specials.
6 specials. I'm not going to give 6 specials.
Zorro's going to go off on Twitter.
Look, everybody get out to the races tomorrow. It's absolutely sensational program. There are some horses that you might actually change your mind about in the yard as well, because you know there's a couple of sort of tricky things with class v fitness, etc., etc. So come out to the races. What a great day it is out at Canterbury.
Yeah, terrific. Yeah,
beautiful spot. My specials are going to be Irathea, race 4, number 1. Louboutin, race 5, number 1, and Beacon, race 6, number 13.
Very good, very good. What have I tipped? I think I actually nominated my horse there. Yes, my bet is Brazen in the last. Currently $13. Let's see where it trades. Race 7, number 1. We'll be back on Friday with Glenn with a preview of all races bar the Warwick Stakes, which Winks is running around in. That's Randwick on Saturday. It'll be dry, I think. And an interesting card with the up-and-coming stakes and the Silver Shadow and the Toy Show.
I had a look at the Savo. There's some juicy races there.
All right, so Gord's already into it. Well, I've got to get through Gosford on Thursday before then, but stay tuned Friday for a very, very good preview show for Randwick on Saturday. I hope this has been helpful for you for Canterbury on the 16th. See you guys.